Welcome to the Aquaflow Crypto Lab. Today's video will be very interesting. It's been a long time since my last video, so I'm glad to be back. I hope that you are all fine and you are going to enjoy this video, I promise. So without further ado, let's get started. If you are a long-time subscriber, you know that this chart anticipated all XRP great moves with an accuracy that goes beyond any expectations. We are going to talk about the current situation in a minute, but before we do, let me refresh your minds so that you can measure the criticity of what's going on right now. In November of last year, we had one of the biggest events of this cycle, the cross of the bull-bear market line in blue with the dots. No one wanted to believe us at that time, but we said that crossing this line was an early sign of a bear market. And started from here, we started using this line as a resistance, as you can see. We touched it here, it was a strong resistance. Then we came back, we went up and we used it as a resistance again. Again, we came back to the downside and we went to retest the line and it was again a strong resistance point. And we talked about this confluence point between the bull-bear market line in blue and the red circle. As you can see, it was a perfect touch. And we knew that this confluence point was reinforcing the idea of a strong move after touching it. And history agreed. After this, we went down. We had a candle closing below the 180 weeks exponential moving average. This was a major warning sign. And on this channel, we said that after closing below this golden line that you see here, we would probably retest the mountain indicator in orange. And guess what? This is exactly what we did with this candle. After this, we said that we would get a bounce, and this is exactly what we did again, because we know for a fact that the price cannot go below the mountain indicator. You remember that in the past, you see we touched it, we have a bounce. We touched it, we have a bounce. Again, we touch, bounce, touch, bounce. So we know that XRP cannot stay inside the mountain indicator. And that's why we had a bounce. And this was just a local bottom because, as you know, after this, we retested the mountain indicator just right here. Okay, let me circle it. And so far, this is our bottom. So what can we say about the current situation? Well, it's no surprise. It all depends on what Bitcoin does. And that's why we are going to talk about Bitcoin in the last part of the video. However, even in this chart, there are some clues about what could happen. Every time it comes to the same thing, confluence, 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 guys. I think we are going to make a song about confluence because this is so powerful, I can't believe it. So let's take a look at the confluence forming in this chart. Okay, so take a minute to observe the chart and let me know if you can identify a confluence area. Well, I hope that you guessed it. It is just right here. You have the bull market line going down with the blue dots. At the same time, you have the last resistance circle in red going down to the same location. And you have the 180 weeks exponential moving average going to the very same location. So this is a very strong area of confluence forming right now. So we have three lines crossing at the same time, and it increases the probability to see the price being attracted to this very same location in the coming weeks. In addition, let me add the bull-bear market band to the chart. So you can see that I added it just right here. We have a green color for the band, an orange color, and a red color for the band. For the record, when we are in a bull market, we are above the band and the band is green. When we are in a bear market, it's the opposite. The price is below the band and the band is red. And when the price is trending inside the band, it may be a warning sign that the market is ready to change the trend, and we have an orange color. And as you can see, after crossing the bull-bear market line in blue, we penetrated the bull-bear market band. We had an orange color, and ever since we've been trending below the band. That's why at the beginning we had red, orange, and for multiple months now the band has been red. That's how we know that we are definitely in a bear market. That said, I wanted to show you this band because, as you can see, it seems that at the bottom of the band that you can see just right here like this is going also to the same area of Confluence, okay? Isn't it amazing? It means that we have a fourth line confirming that this area is very, very important. So we will pay attention to what will happen in the coming weeks. So do not be surprised if in September or October we go up like this to retest this area of Confluence. Remember that for Bitcoin, I used the very same technique, and that's how we predicted the crash. As you know, we had a huge confluence zone forming with all these lines, the aqua line, the 200 weeks moving average, the golden bottom line, the bottom regression line, the mountain indicator. All these lines were joining to the very same location. And after leaving the spotlight indicator in yellow, we knew that a strong move was coming. And what did we do? We went straight to this area of confluence. And we knew for a fact that if Bitcoin had to bottom, it would do it on the regression line, because this is exactly what we did in the past. Every time that we had a bottom for Bitcoin, Bitcoin retested the regression line, okay? It was every time the same thing. Look, here we retested the regression line, okay? Then here it was the bottom, we retested the regression line with the dots. You see it like this, okay? Then in 2008, it was exactly the same thing. You have the regression line going up like this, and we retested. It was a beautiful confluence point again between all these lines. And here we had exactly the same scenario, okay? So it happened again and again and again. And I don't know if this will be our definitive bottom. I can't be for sure, but it wouldn't be a surprise to see this as a bottom, because this is what we did in the past. So now let's zoom in to understand what's going on with the current situation. As you can see, we went down and we hold two lines. The regression line that you can see just right here with the dots. And this was actually the best price to buy Bitcoin. It was the most accurate line that we had in this scenario. And we hold also the golden line that you can see just right here, because we have no body closing below this golden line. And of course, we have also the mountain indicator, which was very accurate because we penetrated it, but we have no body closing inside the mountain indicator. And after retesting all these lines, we had a bounce. And I love to see multiple weeks of consolidation above the regression line. This confirms that this is a very strong area of support. And while everybody was panicking, and why wouldn't they? It was very scary. On this channel, we stay level-headed, and we said that the most probable scenario was to hold the regression line and to go back above all these lines. In my last video, I said that we needed to return above the aqua line. We did it. We were below it, and just right here with this candle, we had a close above the aqua line with an attempt to put us down below the line again, but the bulls resisted and we had a beautiful close above the aqua line. So this was a first positive sign. Then again, in my previous video, I said that the next step would be to retest the 200 weeks moving average. And as you can see, first we held it as a resistance with a weeks and a close below the line, which was very bearish. But the weeks after, we managed to have a close above the line. This time it was very positive. And the week after, we have an attempt to put us down again below the line, but we managed to push the price higher and to have this beautiful candle closing above the 200 weeks moving average. So now what we want to see is very simple. It's very straightforward. We want the price to stay above the 200 weeks moving average and to keep on holding it as a support. It's that simple. There is one last thing I want to share with you. It's the 20 weeks moving average that is coming down. And in my opinion, this is the next resistance area to look at. As you can see, we are getting closer and closer to it, which is good. So we have to see if in the coming weeks we are able to go above it or not. But in my opinion, again, this is the next area to look at for Bitcoin. Okay, so I guess that now you have the full picture and you should understand what is going on right now and what needs to happen to be hopeful again in this crypto market. If you like the content, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and share some comments with me to let me know what you think about my analysis. That's all for today's video, and as always, time will tell.